public. They got the bar open. We got a tab over there. We're in a private building on the water. But yeah, so I'm just walking around drinking beer.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah, I'm hoping hope my connection with my Bluetooth connection and all that stuff stays fine. There's no
You
Wi-Fi out
sound
here.
fine.
Does it? Right, good, good. It's cold here tonight too. A little windy.
Yeah, here too.
Where's
I'm
bro at?
actually sitting outside. I'm sitting outside dome. My kid in there getting some football training.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Make sure keep your doors locked so nobody comes in. Nobody
Yeah,
comes in and tries to get in your
right.
car tonight.
Yeah, that was it. Well, I'm faced the other way. I'd see him coming this time. If someone comes in from the back here, yeah, we're in fucking trouble, man.
That's what mirrors are for, dude. Come on.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know if you guys sometimes I feel like I'm on a delay or a lag or something. There's a lot of I hear dead air. Like after I get done talking, I hear.
No, it's just we're waiting for you to stop talking.
No,
okay. We're starting a meeting that way. Okay,
is.
sorry. So I'm an asshole already. Cool. I'll shut up.
No, but sometimes if we got a bad connection, that's why I usually even take my Wi-Fi off, because my Wi-Fi will screw up more than regular airwaves. And if I'm on my Wi-Fi, then you can get that delay and that choppiness, and then you hear it 3 seconds later. And good radio.
Yeah.
Let's talk about all of our problems. Who has
Well, nice of you to join us on time. Go ahead and get started. Go ahead.
I've been here. I've been listening to you just gallivanting around the greater Orlando area.
Let us know whenever you want to start. It's your show.
We're just talking about.
We're just renting space, right?
Well,
you guys get enough rain down there?
Yeah. It blows today. Never thought I could be so unhappy. Yeah, that wasn't going to come out right. That's what she said. I was going to say, I never thought I could be so unhappy being blown. Turns out this is the one case. Got a little larceny, boys. You try some larceny? Bourbon?
Never convicted.
Well, no.
Dope.
Yeah. You can drink it without being convicted. It's okay. But anyway, let's talk. Where do you guys want to go? You want to talk recruiting? You got some thoughts on the portal, where we should go? You got thoughts on guys that have left?
Who's all left? Why don't you give a rundown of everybody that left?
Okay. I'll give you a rundown
by the day. It's changing by the day. I know.
First need to bring in our guy. Last show of the year for 2023. We've done this every week, all year long, give or take. So our guy needs to finish the year.
Hi, my name is Tyvis Powell, former Ohio State Buckeye and national champion DB. Welcome to the Buckeye Cast. These guys was born and bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe to the show. Now pour up a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick. Get him, Joe.
Get him.
All right.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. So, yeah, I really want to get your guys' opinions on some of these portal things. I mean, there's bowl games going on. I know nothing we're talking about. I doubt you have watched.
I haven't watched any
whole bowl game yet. A whole game, but we'll get into the Cotton Bowl here in a bit. I got a quick rundown, and we'll get our picks in because this is the last show of the year. And weirdly enough, the Cotton Bowl is before the end of the year, which, again, another confusing scheduling thing with college football now. We're going to have to get used to, I think. Anyway, appreciate everybody popping in. I will get to your comments in the chat. Hit us with your questions and comments. Let's start right off the bat then. if you guys got nothing, I'm going to hit you with some questions. Jeff.
Yes, sir.
Kyle McCord going to Syracuse. Thoughts? Step
Have fun,
down,
bro.
right?
Have fun. Yeah.
Fran Brown, though. Fran Brown is a real dude. He's a good coach. I don't know.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't fuck around. He's a highly accountable guy and well known in coaching circles. So you think Kyle going to Ryan Day and saying he wants a guaranteed starting job and increased NIL, is that laughable or what? And now he's going to Syracuse.
Well, question: How definite is that source on him asking for an increase in money? Is
Your
that just
volume's a
hearsay?
little low, Jeff. Can you talk into the microphone?
Okay, sorry. Is that a factual statement saying we know for sure he asked for more money? Has that been
Yes.
stated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how could I'm with Jeff on this? Hold on a second. We're on that point, Jeff.
Okay.
Let's not. I need to finish this
Yeah.
thought on that. So, how the fuck would Kyle McCord ask Ryan Day for more NIL money? That's not Ryan Day's gig. So that's why I'm wondering where's this coming from? I've seen it, but how's it confirmed? Who
Right,
said
I've
that?
seen it.
Maybe it's not directly to Ryan Day, but wherever he's getting his current NIL, he's probably going to those people. I mean, there's the set, was it 1890, 1870, whatever.
1870, yes.
Yeah, 1776. Then you got the Little Guys Foundation, and you got Cohesion. Yeah. So he's going to them. Whether he goes, I don't think it's smart to go to the head coach and ask for cash. That's probably not going to happen. But nobody was willing to give him what he wanted.
Well, I think more than anything, I mean, I'm willing to buy on the starting gig part of it. But no, go ahead, Jeff. I'm trying to steal your thunder, but that's an interesting point to me. It's like, what's the complete truth in that shit?
Well, I'll go ahead and respond to not accusation or whatever of him asking for more money. Why wouldn't you? I guess every kid should. I guess it can't hurt to ask. Sure. If I have more of I firmly believe the situation transpired as him and Ryan Day talking, sitting down, going over the year, and Ryan Day telling him that the open competition, there was going to be an open competition. Again, you're gonna have to win your spot, as it should be every year with everybody. Look, you're not. If you come up in in winter workouts in spring and just dig off and don't give a fuck, we're not guaranteed you a spot. No, you got to. That should just be a given at Ohio State. You got to earn your spot because there's somebody coming behind you. They tell you that when you're recruiting you. There's guys. We're bringing in the best of the best in the country every year to make this team the best it can be. That should automatically be a given that you're going to have to earn your spot, not just be guaranteed it. 2 weeks after you just lost to Michigan, on the back of you not having a stellar game, multiple turnovers, missed plays or whatever. He didn't play. It wasn't not playing horrible, but he didn't go crazy and get a big victory that he needed to make the playoff. So if Ryan Day tells him it's an open competition, and he says, I'm going to go somewhere I want a guaranteed spot. Well, fucking hit the bricks, pal. There's the door. No, you didn't have a Justin Fields Heisman finalist year or CJ Stroud Heisman finalist year. Even those guys knew they were going to come back and win their spot. The second year in the program, there was they had great years and they had full confidence they would. But for him to think that he needs a guaranteed spot, well, yeah, go to fucking Syracuse. Good luck to this coach replacing the infamous Dino Babbers. But I mean, if you need a guaranteed spot, bro, see ya. This isn't the place for you anymore. So I mean,
I think that's why he didn't end up at Nebraska either.
Yeah, that's
Matt Rule's not going to play that shit.
Because especially if Matt Rule's got to talk to the best quarterback in the nation coming in and saying, in order to get him, he's probably going to need to tell him you're going to have the spot, and he can't have
But
the
I would
spot
think
if he's bringing McCord in. So I mean, he probably told McCord that too, and because he probably said, "Hey, if I get a chance to get Viola, this competition is going to be open," and maybe he balked at that again. So if you wanted the guaranteed spot, go to Syracuse, nice and safe for you. Good luck. But I mean, you're not. I say it's not the place for you anymore. So see you later.
Go ahead, Shawn.
yeah, I mean, my quick take on it is, I mean, he was never going to transfer up. Kyle McCord didn't, so
what's
to
up?
transfer
What is
to,
Yeah,
up?
what's up?
well, up
You're
or
at the
even
top,
lateral,
pal.
like to go to Oregon or
Or
wherever,
what?
just the
Okay.
top
Yeah. Okay.
tier,
Okay.
the
A
top
lateral.
tier.
Yes. A lateral. Yeah.
I
A
mean,
lateral move to a
anybody
good
that
opportunity.
thought that was going to happen, I mean, unless you're like desperate and you're like a Clemson and you're like, all right, we fucking need somebody. This guy will do but I mean, he was never going to make that move. I don't even
Yeah.
think,
Somebody like a Notre Dame, we're just a
Nebraska,
quarterback away.
Nebraska to me would have been the high water mark probably for,
Yeah.
a destination for him. Syracuse, I mean, here's the other thing that doesn't make sense with the money. To me, is what did Syracuse bust out the big NIL bags, that big football program? I mean, maybe it's not out of the
It's
question.
AC
but,
money. That's HVAC money, man.
I mean, I don't know that Orangeman bag, man. I don't know.
All those oranges
So
up in northern New York.
all those
he went,
ESPN journalists started kicking in a little more on their
Maybe
kicking in more to their alumni fund, I guess.
that's more
But
realistic than the HVAC company kicking up more dollars.
yeah,
We sold
but
a few
I
more
was
units.
thinking, and if you're like truly like probably a NFL type of talent, and I know it'd be hard, but some of these kids, like I heard Raiola, like comes from money, and obviously Manning comes from money. On the NIL deals, wouldn't you just say, you know what? Hey, Dad, give these receivers NIL money. He goes, get me the best receivers in the country, and let's put something cool together here. But everybody's so
ravioli
greedy
money.
or whatnot.
It's not to be messed
That's
with.
right.
Respect it.
Well, the Mannings, I think, are probably doing all right.
Yeah.
Does Arch need the money coming in?
Speaking of Texas quarterbacks, maybe you would picture at a different school. There's one of them that's the odd man out there.
When
Maybe we'll talk to him.
No.
No, you know what I'm talking about. Let's talk to Malik Murphy. We can get into him a little bit later as options for him.
But right. I mean, good for McCord. Again, I'm right there with Jeff. I don't think that he was guaranteed a spot. I think Dave was probably up front with him. I don't think the money thing had anything to do with that part of it. And he knew that he was, and he reads the press. I mean, today's social media, he sees the stuff, and
that's probably part of it too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Buckeye Nation's bigger than Orangeman Nation.
Yeah, a little quieter upstate New York.
Yeah. Fishing around in the bottom of the ACC is not fishing around in the bottom of the Big Ten or the top of the Big Ten. Big difference, you know what I mean? From national title contender year in, year out, you're going to have more talent on your roster than every team you play and maybe equal to one you're playing.
Yep. And Florida State just proved you can go undefeated and still not get in. Oh, of course,
and
that
they
would be in now.
I do want to I mentioned this the other day on the Daily Blitz after taking some time off. First show back, I do want to put my hand up and be recognized as the Kyle McCord supporter all year long. I thought we would see some growth and development from week 1 to week 12 at some point, but we did not. We saw the same mistakes in week 1. I just watched the Indiana game here like 2 hours ago, and we saw the same mistakes in week 12 against the Cheaters. So, but I thought there would be some development. So I don't know if that comes back on coaching. I think it mostly comes back on the player not taking to the coaching. Yes, there were injury issues with his ankles and stuff like that. I get it. But seemed like the same issues did not improve. Like we had the same problems week 1 through the entire season, never got better. So hand up on me.
Yep, you were the supporter.
I thought we would see development, and I believed in Ryan Day and Herb's son-in-law, to develop the kid.
I don't think some of that stuff is even developable. I mean, the mechanics in that is okay, but sometimes guys either got it or they don't, and I just don't feel like he has it. Yeah. And it's, he doesn't have to be a pure passer to have it or all this. I mean, JT Barrett, all the guys we've had, Haskins, they all had it.
What you're saying,
when Ryan Day names a starter, you got to kind of trust in the coach, right? That's where I put my faith.
Because he was so hesitant.
What?
He didn't want to. Brown was coming off injury. Didn't play the spring. He gave McCord every opportunity. He did not want McCord from the start. But he had no choice because Devin Brown wasn't there either. Because the little bit we've seen of Devin, and I hope he looks better, he looked like shit too.
Jeff?
Well, you dove into one other topic that I thought we might get into later as far as coaching staffs. And a lot of questions have been raised about, Kyle McCord's footwork, which was inconsistent all year round. A lot of that was at the ankle. Was that more of the ankle, or was that more of his lack of, developing of the mechanics and being more consistent? Now, is that a result of the coaching, quarterback coaching versus just like you said, Shawn, just not having it? Every quarterback you just named, they all had it. JT with his leadership and just his willingness to, make sure we just, to have those get done whatever needs done. CJ and
if I need a game-winning drive, I'd probably take JT Barrett over all those guys I just named.
Well, let's not be fucking crazy.
JT was a dog.
We're romanticizing the past here a bit, but I will. No, my point was,
you know what I'm saying.
My
Joe,
point was that I don't. I mean, it's not like Kyle wasn't being coached hard, and we saw it like on the sidelines every time Kyle came off the field. I just don't think he took the coaching. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I just wanted to put myself out there and let everybody remember how much I missed on that one. But
me and Shawn are fully aware. We're fully aware.
Thanks. Yeah. But when you think Ryan Day is going to develop a quarterback, and you have to assume he's going to get better over a season, like we've seen with previous quarterbacks, it's kind of shocking that Kyle did not improve. So anyways, let's keep it moving. What else? What are you looking for in the portal, Jeff? Like position wise?
Well, we had probably the first list, the main big list of the portal exiters. It looked like we lost a lot of depth in the defensive backfield. With still 3 questions, I think, at least 2 big questions still, whether Hancock may leave or Hancock, is he a sophomore or is he eligible?
No, he's a third-year guy. He can go.
Okay, so Hancock's eligible. Denzel Burke still has not made his decision, I believe. And I can't remember if Igwe has the option, is the eligibility to leave or not.
He does not. But he has to stay, I think.
He is. Yeah, he was freshman at Ole Miss, and then so true sophomore with us last year. So, but a lot of depth. Ryan Turner, Cam Martinez. I have another name to escape me now, but there's I believe 3 or 4
Jair Brown was together.
Jair Brown.
Yeah. So Kai Stokes.
Guys, those are guys that I was expecting to be looking at coming in spring, picturing Denzel out of the picture. But with Hancock, Igwe back, which one of those guys, or was it going to be Jermaine Matthews, and maybe Calvin Simpson Hunt and Jermaine Matthews have shown so much and cut the eye of the coaches so well that those sophomores saw the writing on the wall. They said, well, we're going to get passed over by the guys below us. We got to go, maybe. But that's the first. That's the first position. That's the first position I looked at because of the amount of those guys leaving depth wise.
Secondary,
yeah, secondary, and then D line, edge rushers, obviously. And interior. I mean, I'd say more on the defense because the recruiting with the offense has been so much better as far as building depth. So even D line, depending on what Jack or JT, Tyleek, Mike Hall.
I think you probably move.
All with like
one tackle and one end. I think you lose at least two of those, and maybe.
And what's in this bullshit about Kenyatta Jackson erasing all Ohio State stuff? Did he officially jump in the portal yet? Because I pictured Kenyatta Jackson being a starter next year. So I mean, pretty much up and down the defense. With the linebackers leaving, CJ Hicks, Cody Simon announced it's coming back.
Right.
But Cody Simon and CJ Hicks, are those our two linebackers next year? Where's the depth after that? What Powers, Carrico, Carrico's
in the portal.
Right. So there's depth at linebacker leaving. There's depth at, what the D line might look like. I think that's mainly where the focus needs to be. Offensive line, just because all five of them are replaceable for sure. That's definitely an open competition.
Well, I don't think they're all going to get replaced. I mean, you need a new guard.
But what I'm saying is that's definitely where they should be looking. Definitely be looking at for offensive linemen and depth up and down the defense. That's mainly. And running back, depending on what happens with us maybe losing one of the 24 kid running backs, possibly to Miami.
We definitely need another one.
Yeah. That's pretty much. I mean, you're not be looking at receivers, even though there's a bunch of good ones out there. I was surprised at some of the names. Williams from USC, who there's just to name one, but receiver, that's our deepest point. And the quarterback, I don't think so, because I think they're going to ride with Devin, Keenholz, Aaron Nolan as your three.
Well, let's wait and see what Devin does in the Cotton Bowl. Let's be sure that he's your QB1, and you'll have your answer after that.
Yes, that bowl game might tell us what, but at that time it's almost too late for the portal guys. We're going to be 3-4 days away from the deadline,
and most of those quarterbacks closes on January 2nd.
That's the calendar's fucked. That's the main. That's a real big thing. That the
calendar. You can blame the coaches for that.
Whoever decided on the calendar,
the coaches are partially to blame because they wanted to get that December commitment date for the early signing period, so they could get their kids in 2 weeks later in January, get the early enrollees in. So
I understand all that fully. But all these quarterbacks that are in the portal, you see a lot of the top ones are already finding landing spots. If we wait till after the bowl game and not make a move, and Devin does not show us any confidence and really struggles against a Missouri team that was not exactly like the nation's best defense, maybe it might be too late to get one of those guys that would be challenging for a spot. Sorry for the noise. There might be, we're still gonna have a guy like a Tristan Gebbia available, which is what I thought they would probably go with, just like a older backup piece, just to kind of help mentor and that kind of stuff and learn the offense. But I think these top guys are gonna be gone by the time bowl season, those New Year's Six games come around. Malik Murphy, all those other big names on the market, Cam Ward. I think they're going to be long gone by then. So it's a gamble we'll take.
Shawn, if you're going to bring in a quarterback, do you have thoughts on do you go with a starting quarterback, like a QB1 type to challenge Devin, or do you go with a Chugs?
No, I think, I'll ride. I mean, unless it's that dire, like I'd like to see a lot of meaningful time out of Devin Brown and Keenholz in this bowl game, if possible, to get a nice sample. I mean, unless it's a travesty, and with Aaron Nolan coming in, that we can't find someone that can run the Ohio State offense, I lean more towards bringing a Chugs, bringing a guy that if the shit's the fan, he's just, he's been around, he isn't going to shit the bed out there. And, you're probably not going to go that far, but you'll get through a season. and it won't turn into a complete disaster. But I'm not really for bringing in a starter. That there's none really that I was a big fan of that guy that went to Notre Dame, but outside of that, I don't know. I'm just maybe it's just me, and I'm like the old man, and I'm just not used to it yet. But it's just so weird to me bringing in all these guys, and it's just wild. I know we did it with Fields, but
yeah, there's not a Justin Fields out there, so
right.
That kind of
and that was know. And remember that was a change of the offense. That was an Urban Meyer offense who with a different type of style of quarterback than when Ryan Day taking over. That's why that was no option. We had to go get somebody to fit more Ryan's scheme.
But if you think about it, Jeff, there really is Justin Fields did not do much at Georgia. I guess he was 1 year in the system, but he didn't do much. So
no, he didn't.
I guess
I don't.
You're going off his recruiting ranking.
Yes. Yeah, they knew the talent, the prospect. He was the number 2 quarterback in the nation, a solid number 2 behind Trevor Lawrence, who was a generational, supposedly. So there's not that guy there. And plus we had to go find somebody. We had to go find somebody for sure with what we had leaving with Burrow and Haskins both left. And with what's his name? Tatum was our only option.
Use the ticket.
And it just so happened. The stars aligned that year that there was a Justin Fields opportunity to get a talent of that ilk, and the need that we definitely had. I don't think I'm totally comfortable with Ryan Day and staff believing with the guys that they've recruited, gotten to know, build relationships, know what they have. These are all their guys, handpicked. It kind of tells me if they were going to go after big game of Malik Murphy, a guy that would be more than a 1-year starter fill in, then it tells me that they're admitting they missed on Keenholz or they missed on Devin Brown. I mean, these are 5-star quarterbacks or high 4.5-star quarterbacks that were high prospects. They felt comfortable taking them and passing on other quarterbacks in those processes each of those years. So I'm happy with I'm good with them staying with who they think they have to replace McCord.
Yeah.
I think if you brought in a guy with a high 5-star recruit, that has multiple years eligibility, I think you're losing more guys. I think, you throw in the chance of Aaron Nolan maybe changing his mind, having last minute thoughts of changing. Maybe not. Well, we don't know these kids personally either. And we don't know what these schools are telling these kids or who all is talking to these kids still trying to get them. But, Lincoln Keenholz, if we brought it in on Malik Murphy, he's like, all right, so now there's Devin Brown's here and this guy for at least 2 years. Or even a Devin Brown. He seems pretty different. I think Devin Brown, I think we're pretty safe on him sticking around because he'll fight a dude for a spot, I think. He seems like that kid's in.
Well, you still have the May portal window after spring ball.
And nothing's safe after
no
spring ball. No
quarterback is going to come in and beat out Devin Brown in 3 months.
But
that's just impossible.
But if you bring one in now, who knows, so I'm good with them not going to big game. I'm not sold on the rest of those guys. What is it? Why is Cam Ward or somebody like that? Why are they a better option already than what you guys have? You got the people you've gotten to know and develop already, and they're already been in the system.
Right, and that's the thing is why is that like Ryan Day is big on the time he's invested, everything he's invested in his quarterback.
Stay true to I say stay true to that. Stay true to what you know. Be confident in what you're doing. And make it fucking work, pal. Beat fucking Michigan finally.
I think we're all three saying that you bring in a fourth guy as just a depth piece, right?
Yeah, Shawn, a Chugs, a Jebbia.
Shawn, you good with a Chugs? Jugs?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, Aaron Nolan, you don't know how far along he'll be. I think right now, we'll see. Hopefully, if Keinholz can be in a big game for a while. get him some experience. But yeah, I mean, basically going into next year, that's the two. I feel like you almost have to go out and find one of those journeymen, 3-4 year starter in a max school or something like that can, all right, I can come in and play if needed, but hopefully
especially
not.
time. Sorry, Shawn. Sorry. And timeline wise, that's all you're gonna have available. If you're waiting till after the performances of, if Keno's gets, if they try to, mark out playing time for him and Brown, if you're waiting till evaluations from that game, and if those evaluations aren't good, there's not going to be much left by that point, because
and every quarterback that's in the top of the portal is going to want a guarantee that they're the man.
Sure, exactly.
They're not going to say, "Yeah, I'll compete for the starting
program
job."
worth their weight it would guarantee that.
Well, exactly. Well, that's the thing. If Ryan Day tells, if Ryan Day's telling McCord, there's going to be a spot, there's going to be open competition for the position, just like there just needs to be. We got to find out who the best quarterback is. You can't turn around and tell a guy, Cam Ward, who has 1 year coming from across the country, yeah, you're guaranteed starter. What does that say to the other players on your team when you told the guy that was the starter, you're going to have to fight for your job? I think that would, to me, that would rub me the wrong way. And just being a fan.
I don't think the transfer portal
what would it
came into that conversation at all. It would be, once again, Kyle versus Devin for that starting job. I don't think the portal had anything to do with it.
And Keno, all of them. All of them have a chance. Keno's being in the program as long as he has, he should have every opportunity.
Come on.
No, I'm saying
that's not a realistic possibility.
Of him starting.
I think next year it is.
Come on, Shawn.
I think he's got. Oh, seriously? Yeah, you were the. Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
You were the. Yeah, he's in the same fucking spot as Devin Brown was last year. So now you're going to be all over.
Devin Brown came in January of 2022. He's been in the program almost 2 full years. Lincoln Keenholz has been in the program less than 6 months.
We're talking about going into next year, which will be over a year, and that's the same thing. Yeah. So what I'm saying is the same position as Devin Brown was going into this season, and he was.
That's an extra year, dude. That's a whole extra year. Keenholz just came in June of this year. He's only been on campus less than 6 months. It's not comparable.
Oh, he wasn't even early?
No, he played basketball and baseball for his high school.
I think he'll still be in that competition. You think they're just going to gift it to Devin Brown? I mean, what are you talking about?
No, Joe.
I didn't say that.
Joe, there's still.
Then what are you saying? Who's in the competition then?
They can compete. This is not a real competition unless they bring in a quality transfer quarterback. This is Devin's job to lose. Obviously, Lincoln Keenholz is not going to take the job from Devin Brown in 6 months.
Shawn, mark it down. Mark it down. He just said it will not happen. What? Yeah, Joe. What Shawn is saying, Joe? Okay. All right.
That's why I said last year at this time, Kyle McCord is the guy going into 2023. A year ago,
and it was the wrong decision.
But he got the starting job.
Was it the wrong decision?
Head to head
the best decision
against
possible?
Devin. Did go 11-1. Should be noted. But again, I already admitted that we did not see the development over 12 weeks that
you're going to admit it. You're going to admit it again.
That Lincoln Keenholz should be the starting quarterback in 2024.
No, but he's going to be in the conversation.
Shawn,
he's going to be in the conversation.
We got to cut this part out. We got to timestamp this.
Oh, it's not going anywhere. It's on YouTube forever.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you think
I don't
Devin
delete
Brown's
videos unless YouTube makes me.
Hey guys, real quick, I got to step away for 1 second. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Fuck.
That's all right.
So let's talk some recruiting, Shawn. What do you think about D-line recruiting? How's that making you feel right now in this 2024 class?
I don't know what's new other than that one guy left. Did something else bad happen?
Edric Houston
But that's
visited Clemson on Friday and Alabama on Saturday. How's that make you feel?
not great. And
Yeah.
that to me is, I mean, depending on who's going to go pro, that's going to be a big problem for us next year.
Yeah, I'd say.
That's my most worrisome spot right there is the D line.
Okay.
That man.
And look at
you
just
guys
look
were
at how
talking
many
earlier.
dudes we lost in this class, just this one class. We don't have to go back to last year and the 3 5-stars we missed out on at the end. But just look at who we've lost in the recruiting class. If we lose Houston, a 5-star defensive end, that leaves us with a 3-star in this class. Eric Mensa out of Virginia. That's it. Justin Scott flipped to Miami. Remember the graphic with the bunch of cash and made up trophies that Miami will never see. Edric Houston, though, Bama is the big threat right there.
Yeah, I would think so.
And
he's the one that he goes to Buford, doesn't he?
Yeah. So if we lose out on him, we got to start having some hard conversations about Larry Johnson, right?
I think it's already time with Larry Johnson. I mean, it's just I mean, nothing but respect and love for that guy, but sometimes it's time. And I don't know, maybe it's the NIL stuff and we're just not on, but I think maybe a fresh look at that. I thought we brought in like his heir apparent kind of to be a, I don't know, coaching assistant or analyst or whatever that was like, this is going to be the guy that takes over when Larry goes.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to take over exactly. I always forget his fucking name. I fuck it up. It's, yeah, I'm going to have to look that up. Anyway, there are multiple coaches. I don't think we'll go to the GA route, even though he's been around and he's done a lot of training of NFL guys. I think we'll probably go after Randall Joyner, the defensive line coach at Ole Miss. He worked under Larry Johnson. You got the guy at Boston College. He worked under Larry Johnson. There's multiple guys out there. I did a whole episode almost a year ago about Larry Johnson's replacement. I'll have to pull that up again and see if I can find those guys. But yeah, I don't know if they're just going to promote from within again at that position. LaAllen Clark, that's his name. LaAllen Clark. He's a GA. He runs his own business, used to anyways. He was CEO of LC Performance. He was a former 2-time All-American. He has trained 51 active NFL players in his business, like John Franklin Myers, Jeffrey Simmons, Malik Collins, Rashad Gary, Bud Dupree, Tanzel Smart, Malcolm Roach, just to name some of the more recent guys. So that's the guy. He's from Louisiana. Let's see. Just running through his resume real quick here.
I remember talking about him last year, Joe.
Yeah,
thinking that we predicted that this was probably Larry's last year because of the talk of him at GA position. His recruiting chops in the South are also something that intrigued Ohio State, I believe.
Well, yeah, because he's from Louisiana.
And know the people he knows, and the people he can get in front of down there. Which recruiting's the lifeblood. So I'm sure they're thinking about that as if you're bringing on the coaching staff, he's got to be an elite recruiter, as well as
I mean, how did Larry Johnson's recruiting fall off so bad? Do you think that it's the NIL and I guess for a few years now it's always rumored, oh, why are you going there? Larry Johnson's going to be retiring. He ain't going to be there. That rumor's been going on for the last 5 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
But like his
Right.
recruiting, I mean, he's got some of the best all-time college defensive linemen. I mean, it's not even close, the guys that he's coached. And I just don't understand how it falls off that quick.
Yeah,
All
well,
the
you're
guys
going to
at
get the
Penn
negative
State.
recruiting. The negative stuff is going to come along nonstop from, the other teams. NIL is still a train wreck. I think everybody knows that, right? With Ohio State, the NIL was still a mess because they want you to come in, commit, be a part of the program, then you'll get paid. And most kids are getting, upfront guarantees. And Ohio State's not playing it that way. There you go. Again. Yep. So, Jeff, you got thoughts on Ohio State D-line recruiting in this class, the 2024 class, if we lose Edric Houston?
Big blow, and it's probably going to end up strictly as a money thing, right? One thing about the recruiting with our coach possibly leaving, we have two juniors on this team that are the number 1 and number 2 defensive ends in the country coming out of high school. And we have guys that 5-stars like Justin Scott and Edric Houston, those type players that are now leaving because of NIL. But clearly Justin Scott was in the NIL thing. So he's still pulling 5-star recruits. He's not, I guess, because the guys haven't played at Ohio State, like the recruitment of like even Chase Young or the Bosa's, highly regarded, but those guys they all weren't the number ones in the country. Jack Sawyer and JT haven't had the impact that some of those guys have had. They're higher rated recruits. And if we're losing guys to money, because where do most of these guys, predominantly the D linemen, the best in the country, are coming out of the South. The Southern schools aren't playing by the same rules we are, or we're not playing by the same rules they are. However you want to word it, it's not all equal when it comes to this NIL. Like you said, Joe, these guys are getting thousands of dollars to come visit a school, and they're getting paid upfront money as inducement to recruitment, whereas Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame, Penn State, we're not doing it that way. It's almost a divide, the Mason-Dixon line, as far as how people are handling the NIL. We're going to continue to lose these guys to recruits to money. If Edric Houston's if it's just a matter of staying close to home, well, then if NIL doesn't have anything to do with it, and it's what it is, man. You try to get a kid from the South, get a commitment, and then he decides to stay closer to mama. He fucking stays, they staying closer to mama. You can't. That's something you can't out of your control. But if it's money, and we gotta, if we're gonna, this will continue to happen until one of us changes their patterns. The South ain't changing what they do until they're told they have to, and it's enforced. So we got to either get with the times and get with the best in the country, or this will continue to happen. It's simple.
It's really frustrating when we lose a Justin Scott. We got
the Chicago kid,
Houston,
and he's getting passes us on the way to Miami.
Fence now. We lose out on Dylan Stewart, an edge rusher from the Maryland, DMV area that really
to South Carolina, to go south
right.
to South
But
Carolina. Yeah.
My point is that Larry Johnson owns that area typically. Then you got Lightfoot.
I think that was money, though. I think that was
Chicago
a money thing.
Guy. Well, yeah. A lot of it is, but
what's Larry Johnson
Larry.
I'm saying, what's he supposed to do if he gets the kid there and the kid's interested, and we're one of the final 4 schools, and the other 3 are paying him a big chunk of money, and we're saying, wait, when you get here, we'll pay you, and the other 3 are offering to pay him. Well, fuck, you're gonna be number 4 every fucking time.
You're
if the kid's talking about money,
gunfight.
If the kid's talking about money and you're the 4th highest or the 4th lowest, either or, the 4th lowest offer. But yeah, man, there's 3 other offers better than yours. That's not a good spot to be in business. Shawn, you know that, right?
This is going to
It
get
has,
monitored real
until
soon, because you're going to have some billionaire that turns it into the Yankees. Like, look, I'm going to have all the best players in the country because I'm going to pay everybody a shit ton, and it doesn't matter. I'll spend $30 million a year on a team and win it every year. You have some crazy dude doing that, and it's going to become ridiculous. I kind of like what Kelly said. I don't know if you heard what he was saying.
That is the most
Chip
spot
Kelly,
on.
yeah.
That needs to be pinned to everyone's Twitter account and that is associated with college football. Play that, live by it, enact it, put it in place. Fuck it.
Yeah.
If he's on the ropes at UCLA anyways. Make him the fucking commissioner. You know what I mean? Hey man, you got to retire, but we're gonna give you high six figures to just run this. He's got it. He's got it nailed out. Like he kept saying, he's like, not that I've thought about this at all, but he fucking laid out every detail. You know what I mean? And he's like, but not that I've thought about this. You know, revenue sharing, broke it all down. But not that I've really thought about this. Yeah. I mean, he's we know he's super fucking smart, right? Ryan Day's a disciple of his. But it was spot on. I read that. I've been sending it out to other people. Like, here, this is it. This is reality right here. Listen to this guy.
Yeah, because until that changes,
but until that does, you're right, Shawn. I mean, until that does, if we're gonna continue to lose these kids. This guy, what's his name, Joe again? Clark, Alan Clark.
Alan Clark.
Yeah. He might be a great recruiter, and we might still get these kids. He might bring all kinds of talent to the program if he were to take the position, and then he leads them to the NIL people. And then they say, well, however that breaks down, who they talk to and who tells them how that money what money you get. Which there's no transparency there either. So nobody even knows how this process works with these kids, right? If those kids say, "Oh, I got better offers," or this guy gave, this school in the South is giving me six figures. I'm closer to mom. Can you guys match it? And I say, it's like, no, our policy or our way of doing it is this way. Well, fuck, it's gonna continue to happen. Regardless of who is, bringing these 5 stars in, we'll continue to lose them.
Well,
if that's their motivation, if that's their thing, if they're coming in as this overall, more beyond forest through the trees look of not just money I can make as a college kid, but education, development, play for a national title. What depends on what's important to these kids. But these kids nowadays, man, money's money.
When you're all going to change probably very, very quickly as soon as they become employees. And that is already on the table for discussion. It's going to be a couple of years till that changes. And once we go from a NIL model that we're in right now to a employee relationship,
revenue sharing, yes.
Then
which is what we've been
we don't need NILs anymore. So there will not be this debating, negotiating kind of shit where you got to deal with a third party to tell you how much money you're going to make and when you're going to make it. It's going to be, this is your contract, 3 years, whatever, 1, 2, 3 years, whatever you want to sign for this amount of money, just like in the NFL. It really hurts my heart to say these words because I don't really care for the NFL because of this reason, where guys are constantly moving around just for the money. So it doesn't make me feel good to say these things, but it's coming. Like employee, minor league football is coming.
We know it has to. It has to because we're not really happy with how this is looking right now. Pretty much last year, the year before, where it really started, and now. So if this takes 2 or 3 years to go into place, where there's this set payment for players at whatever school, there's a set amount. It's like, the rookie wage scale in the NFL's, the draft picks.
Until that happens, that might not be a thing, though.
However it's laid out, where there's a more even playing field, and everybody's playing by the same system. That's what it'll be. Whatever the system is, everybody will be playing by it. Until that happens, 2 or 3 years from now, us losing 5 stars down the way into the recruitment, down towards the end, we're going to keep losing because of the money. Because nobody in the South, pretty much every big time school, are paying kids, and they don't even have to hide it. So we're going to continue to lose these kids for the next couple of years until maybe that revenue sharing NFL model goes into place.
Yep.
So we're still getting the 5 stars we're still getting the 5 stars. We're getting in the living rooms. We're getting to the final table. Our hats are we're getting our hat on the table at the announcement.
Sure.
But we're losing them. We might finish second or third, but what the fuck cares about second or third?
Well, we've got multiple commitments, Jeff. Hold on. You're going long. We've gotten multiple commitments that end up flipping, and that I'm talking about the D line right now specifically, like Justin Scott, the D tackle, Edric Houston.
NIL comes.
We haven't lost him yet, so fingers crossed. Cross everything that's important to you. But then you got Lightfoot. He silently committed over the summer. I believe he was on his official back in June. No, I don't think it was a camp. It was an official visit. Okay.
But he camped a lot. He camped a lot at Ohio State.
Yeah.
Several times.
So my point is silent verbal flips to Miami. So this is the kind of shit we're dealing with. So all right, we got to keep it moving here. We can't just stay on this.
It's funny.
Yeah. All right. I hope Miami is good soon, because that will kind of make all this worth it. If they go like 7-5 again or something, then what the hell are you doing? So anyway, best of luck to you, Mario. All right, let's talk about the Cotton Bowl, because this is the only time you guys are going to have the opportunity to give us your picks between now and the end of the year. We won't be doing a show Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve. So this is the last Sunday night show. I'll be doing live shows the next few Fridays for the end of the year. So if Jeff and Shawn can pop in, that'd be great. If not, I'm just going to go hard. And I'll make fun of them and talk shit about them when they're not on. It's very simple. They can't tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, so this is the last Sunday night show. We want to get our picks in, do a quick rundown of this Cotton Bowl game down in Dallas. Actually, that's up for me. So ESPN is your network. Friday the 29th. Don't ask me why. It used to be a New Year's Day game, but TV owns everything. ESPN
for 70 years it was on the first. Now it's not.
But ESPN knows better. Anyways, so 8 p.m. it's a nighter. So it's 9 p.m. in Dallas, by the way. Good luck getting up for that one, folks.
No, maybe Joe.
That means it's 7.
Joe.
That means 7.
7. My bad. Yep. Sorry. I went the wrong way. I was thinking island time.
It's midnight. It's midnight in Cali right now.
There you go. So Missouri's 10-2 this year, 9th in the college football playoff rankings, 2nd in the SEC East. Their strength of schedule is respectable, obviously being in the SEC, but 36th overall strength of schedule is better than Michigan and Georgia. Eli Snicklefritz, the head coach, 4 years, 27-21, came into kind of a train wreck and has revitalized that program. He's an offensive-minded guy. He was their primary play caller from 2020 until this year. He realized he could no longer balance the game management duties of a head coach and call plays, which is something that maybe somebody else should think about. Maybe take those thoughts, maybe look in the mirror. Anyway, no names mentioned, Ryan Day.
Interesting.
Mr. Subliminal. Missouri's offense, though, took a significant jump from 22 to 23. They developed their players. No, I'm talking about 2022 to 2023.
I thought those were the rankings. They went from 22nd to 23rd.
No, I'm talking years. They made significant jumps. They hired a new OC, Kirby Moore. So they, in every category, they went. Jeff, you got to let me talk, man.
All right, sorry.
They improved in every category this year. I had a bunch of stats. Oh, we'll get to the stats here in a sec. But anyway, all of their offensive categories made major improvements from last year to this year. And you can see a major improvement in just their record alone. They went 2020, they were 5-5. 2021, 6-7, then 6-7 again. This year, 10-2, major jumps. And I think most of it is on the offensive side of the ball. Eli Drinkowitz said this when they hired his offensive coordinator, that quote, going back and evaluating what we were doing offensively, it became very clear to me that the requirements of the head coach were causing me to not have full focus on the offense. I need to hire somebody who could come in and understand the vision we have for our offensive football, the vision we have for our program, and score some points. Again,
Here.
not mentioning any names. Ryan Day. All right, so let's look at the matchups here according to the numbers. The Buckeyes have some serious advantages in some cases, but offensively, they actually do not have any advantages here. Missouri scores 34 points a game. The Buckeyes, 32.6. Yards per game, Missouri, 441. Ohio State, 420. Yards per play, Missouri, 6.5. Ohio State, 6.3. All right. So let's talk about their offense a little bit more. Their quarterback, what's his name? Brady Cook. Yeah, nailed it. 3,200 yards on the year. Let's see, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks. Took 20 sacks though, not really getting it done there. He's got some rushing yards. I almost said he wasn't running the ball very well, but he actually has 250 rushing the ball. I think that includes sack yardage. And he has 8 touchdowns rushing. So tack that on to the 20 passing. Dual threat.
A goal line option at least. Yeah. Probably a lot of them short runs. But you said those passing stats were right along, McCord's line. What, 24-6, round over just over
66% completion. Yeah.
So, obviously, you would say that we would have more talent per roster, more depth at receiver. Obviously, with the best player in the country.
Yeah, they recruit over the last 4 years, typically right around number 30 in the country. They did have one really great year back in, I believe it was 2022. Yeah, their 22 class was 18th. That's the Luther Burden class. So
I have a theory on that. I have a little bit of theory on that.
Go ahead.
Well, in the state of Missouri, they have the high school NIL eligibility.
Yeah.
So Missouri, I think Missouri kept a lot more of their in-state kids that they typically lose because they probably, I don't know, no facts, but they probably started NIL in these kids early, when they're maybe 16, 17 juniors going in seniors in high school. So if you're already getting paid from a school before you're playing high school, it's more likely you're going to have the relationship to end up going to that school. I think a lot of they kind of been ahead of other places as far as NIL. Now it's Missouri, so you're not getting a lot of the out of state kids like the national powerhouses are. But if you're keeping a lot of those St. Louis kids in, those kids are usually going somewhere else. There's a lot of good football surrounding Missouri. We've taken some good kids out of Missouri, just like many schools have. So I think maybe that could be that could be maybe a focus that they've had that has kind of led to this uptick. Those kids coming in these last 2 years are getting a year in. Offense is a lot better. They score a lot of points. I think that could be a possible reason for their upkick in talent overall.
All right.
They're good. They got some weapons. I think as a program coming into this thing, I feel like I want to see a bunch of young talent play for Ohio State that I haven't necessarily seen. That's going to be a key part of it next year.
That's
I
everybody
think
loves.
I think the mindset of Missouri is more keep this momentum going, and we're building this program. And you beat Ohio State in a bowl game. That's a big feather in your cap.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
Like every
players
team,
play.
this is their Super Bowl.
I can't say that players are going to play. I mean, the Buckeyes are going to want this. The kids that are playing are going to want it just as bad as anybody. I'm saying, like, as a program in general, I feel that Missouri really wants to win this game.
Yeah,
I
exactly
agree. And looking at predictions for the game, Joe, that's why it's still kind of early, because we don't know exactly who all is going to be playing in the game. There's a couple still key guys that we are waiting to get answers from, which can tell me a lot. I was told today, not I didn't see this on Twitter or nothing. I was told today that they had heard that Marvin Harrison said he's playing.
I'd be shocked.
Hasn't committed to, hasn't decided on staying or not. But I heard that, and I said, well, I hadn't seen that yet, so I was going to wait and cast judgment. But him and Trey Henderson, them choosing to play in this game, that's gonna affect my my pick and my point spread for sure. That's huge. For Devin Brown to have Marvin Harrison and Emeka to throw to, the whole offense. So it's gonna be a little. There's gonna be a little caveat on these predictions tonight, I think.
Okay, so a Trey Henderson sways your point spread by how much? What's Trey worth?
I'm going to wait for you to give me the spread and everything. But if Trey and Marvin are playing, and so we have our whole first team offense, because I don't know anybody. Well, I'm just saying,
Vegas is not swaying the point spread for a touchdown for a running back.
Oh, I'm talking if all of our guys play. If Marvin and Trey both play, and I don't know who else is playing. Emeka's playing.
Mm-hmm.
Emeka has announced he's playing. Yes.
Yeah, he's playing.
Nice. Well, he needs to. It's a very good, very smart move on his part to do so. But I think that's going to play, because we're going to go into there with one scholarship tailback if Trey if he decides not to play. Mm-hmm. I think Vegas would pay attention to that.
Okay.
They pay attention to everything, man. But I don't even know the spread to this game.
You still got Chip. Chip. Well, hold on, back up. Chip is still on the team. Xavier Johnson is still on the team. These guys did not just get fired just because
Chip's in the portal.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. He already committed. I forgot. My bad. But like Xavier Johnson is a guy that ran out of eligibility. He's still on the team. So he is another tailback option.
So
yes,
we
are limited.
So Xavier being our second scholarship tailback option.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, though. I just think having those two decisions made would I think that's worth points. But I don't know, what's the spread in this game? Do you want to get into that now, or do you want to go back to the rest breaking down the game?
Yeah. Sorry, we're getting some
I think my son told me that running back for him,
somebody about to get blocked here,
had like 400 carries, and none of them were for negative yardage. It's pretty insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Luther Burden III, by the way, is from East St. Louis. He doesn't play around. Number 2 receiver in that 2022 class.
He's sweet.
Yeah, he's a stud. I was looking at their O-line grades. Again, this is another one of those teams, we talked about this before, that are weak up the middle, which is where we're probably strongest. You got their center. He grades out. Oh, did not mean to do that. Pass blocking, a 69. It's good, not great. Wait, no, he's a 65. Their other guard is a 69.7, and they have their opposite guard is a 53. This is all pass blocking grades. Their tackle is an 81, their left tackle. He's only allowed 1 sack all year. Then the tackle opposite him is a 76. So tackles are solid, strong, but up the middle is where they can be had. And I feel like that's probably one of our stronger suits, right? Coming right up the gut with Tyleek, Mike Hall, those guys, right?
Are they all playing?
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Tyleek has announced he's playing. I can't
Yeah.
remember if there's an official on Mike Hall, but Tyleek has announced he is playing.
Yeah, Mike Hall has to come back for another year.
Is
He was injured.
now is JT? Has he announced? I know Sawyer is in. Tyleek is
No,
in.
he hasn't.
So okay, another one that would factor in, is Proctor. As far as our safety help, who some of those guys haven't announced yet, I believe. I mean, our depth, but we've also lost some depth in the portal already. So,
Yep.
That I don't know how much that would affect the spread or nothing like that, but it affects us.
D-line?
Playing
So
our
you're asking?
performance.
D-line is
D-line. Well, yeah, overall
fine.
D-line, yeah. Well,
yeah. We're talking about
we know official on
Missouri O-line right this second, and they're weak up the middle, center and guards against the pass. Run blocking, center is a 65. Again, the tackles are their strongest, an 81. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, 86, and the other tackles a 63. Guards, let's see, guards are 69, 72. Center is an 82. So run blocking is their strength when it comes to their grades. But if they drop that back to pass, things could get a little dicey up the gut. So let's talk about their defense. Edge rushers, Darius Robinson, he is number 6. He gets all the pressure on the quarterbacks. Then my guy, if I had known this guy was in college football, I would have been tracking him all year long. Johnny Walker Jr. I'm going to go ahead and just call him Johnny Walker Black. 30 pressures on the season, 7 sacks, a couple hits on the quarterbacks. That's my guy, number 15. Although I hope he doesn't have any sacks or pressures in this game. But I do love the name. So edge rushers are getting it done. Then you got missed tackle guys, the linebackers. Tyron Hopper misses a lot of tackles, like 17. Chuck Hicks misses a lot of tackles. He missed like 13. Safety Dalen Carnell. He's missed 12. INTs from the secondary, you got the corner, number 7, Chris Abrams Drain. He has 4 picks on the season, and then he also has 10 PBUs. So he's in on a lot of balls, hands-on balls, big fan of those. And he's also the second most targeted. The safety, Dalen Carnell, is the most targeted with 56 targets. He's given up 36 catches on that 56 for 64% completion. So, but most of the touchdowns have been scored on the corner, Abrams Drain, and the safety, Jalen Charlie's.
I was wondering who the fish was. That's what I was waiting for.
I think the safety probably is. He's allowed 5 touchdowns. Oh, no. And then Charleston, number 28, the other safety, has allowed 4 touchdowns. But that's typical. I mean, your safeties are usually going to have more touchdowns. But, oh, what? Step outside. The rest of their D-line does not do a lot of anything great. Looking at their interior guys on the D-line, only number 90, Landry, He grades out at a 73 in run defense, but there's nobody else above a 65. So their defense does not worry me a whole lot.
Well, I'm not so certain. I mean, we're starting a new quarterback. To me, it's not really going to be about their defense. It's going to be about our quarterback performance, essentially, I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. First time starter. Yeah. So yeah, the updated spread is Missouri by 2.5. Ooh, what did I get that?
So we're minus 2.5.
Money line is at 120 still. I'm glad I got that in early and often.
What'd you get?
What's funny?
Did you
check
at 120?
this out. Check this out. Let me tell you something. So back on December 5th, I placed a wager legally, by the way, at even money, Buckeyes plus 100 money line. Then, just a mere 9 days later, December 14th, I placed a bet on the Buckeyes at plus 120. Is that the McCord change? That has to be the McCord factor, right?
Must. It lines up in the calendar wise, right? With his jumping in the portal.
And it hasn't changed since the 14th.
One was before the portal announcement. One was after.
Yeah. You believe that shit?
Yeah. I like it.
That makes sense.
Let that go to 140. Huh? I'll buy 140 plus 140 for sure. I think they're wanting a whole lot of money coming in Buckeyes at minus 2.5. You're giving the Buckeyes 3 points or 2 points. Yeah, they're gonna get a lot of. It's gonna be a lot of big money coming in. Public money will be coming in huge on the Buckeyes, I bet.
Crazy. Anyway, all right. So with that, let's get into our predictions. Score predictions. Here we go. Buckeyes, 2.5 point dogs. You know, I get a little chubby when the Buckeyes are underdogs. Plus 2.5. Over under a 49. So not expecting a high scoring affair. Let's start with Shawn. Shawn, what do you got for your score prediction? In Jerry World.
In Jerry World, we should be fast. Devin Brown has got something to prove.
Fast track.
I got a pleasant surprise. Buckeyes 31-24.
Dude, you almost took my score. 31-24. All right. Hey, folks, don't forget, those of you in the chat or listening, get your scores in. This will be the last T-shirt giveaway of the season. We gave away like a dozen of them already. So last one, lucky number 13. Get your scores in. If we go by the total points, so try and nail that. And I like the 31-24. Jeff, what do you got?
I have a 33-26 Buckeye victory.
Oh,
I think we're down at some point in this game. I think we come back and win this game. You know, weird scoring game. I think points start scoring late. Did you get all that?
Yeah. It didn't make any sense at all. I'm just trying to compute that.
That doesn't make any sense. None of that doesn't make sense to you.
33 and 26. No, it doesn't.
I'm going off the grid here. Why do you say those games? I've seen those scores in games, Joe. I don't know why you have to just call me out as being some idiot for calling some oddball score. Well, Shawn took the natural 31-24. I was right on the same line like you said you were. So I went. So I varied it a little bit. Well, I don't know why you're fucking with me about this. Watch it fucking happen, bro. Then I'm gonna go. We're gonna have an emergency podcast on New Year's Eve. Or no, 2 days. No, 2 days later. 2 days
It
after.
will be.
On the
We're
night
going
of the
to
national
Vegas.
title
We're
game.
going to Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to dance
Emergency
on my
meeting
grave,
in
aren't you?
Vegas.
There you go.
If you
Beautiful
die before me,
babies.
I will dance on your grave for sure, bro. I promise you that right now on this podcast tonight.
I know.
If you die before me, I will dance on that fucking grave of yours. I'll pour a bottle of
Right.
bourbon out too.
A full bottle?
I'll
Sure
dump a
it's
full
something
bottle,
good.
whatever you want. Write it in your will. Tell me. Let me know. Let me know what you want. I'll make sure I have it. All right. Well,
Anyway,
let's score. What's your score? What do you got?
So as weird as Jeff's score was, I'm going 27-20. I don't think we put up a ton of points, but I believe we have the bulk of our defense, and our defense is going to be the difference maker. Just as much as they did not get it done against Michigan, I believe they will get it done here against Missouri. And I love beating up on a Block M team any chance I get. Anyway, yeah.
Oh,
let's go microscope. Shawn, since you're already talking, go ahead. Offense.
Yeah, offense. So I'll leave DB for you guys. I'm looking forward to seeing some Dallin Hayden. A little preview of maybe what's to come next year. I know. Yeah. I mean, Trey might be the guy still, but even if he is, Dallin Hayden looks like he's going to get his chance. So on offense, I'm going Dallin. On defense, I'm going Hicks. I don't know if are Tommy and Steele playing.
I believe I believe Tommy has announced he is.
Well, I hope not for too long. I'd like to see some of the guys that are going to be playing next year in some early game snaps.
Yeah, if we get up early, yeah, I think you'll see a lot of the young guys.
Not doesn't even have to be up early to me. I mean, I want the win, but I'd rather have these guys have experience against a real. These guys are for real. Missouri is going to bring it, and we're going to be starting a bunch of new guys next year, and they need to see what it's like.
Okay,
that's more important to me is the experience than getting this win.
Michael Pratt has opted out of the Military Bowl.
Yeah, Tulane's quarterback, is that right?
Yeah, so that means he's going into the draft. Okay.
So he's going. Oh, he's going. Oh, I thought there was a lot of talk about him in the portal, but he's going. Do you think he's going pro?
Well, he said he opted out of the bowl game, so doesn't mention anything about going into the league.
Well, do you remember? But I had heard rumors about him, as Ohio State's interest in him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
that was speculation. That was not real.
Well, sure, but dropping out of the bowl game is the sign of he's not playing with that team anymore. Right. But if he gets that, depending on that, maybe that feedback he got from the NFL, either if they, if they told him you're probably like a third, fourth round, maybe like 10th, 11th quarterback, then he's probably looking at portal. If they say, you might sneak into the, early second round or top first, the 5th or 6th quarterback, then you'd probably go pro, because I think there's going to be at least 5 in the first round.
Yeah, I just brought it up because I've heard a lot of people talk about his name with Ohio State, but I still don't think they're going to bring in a starting level quarterback. Anyway, so continuing with our microscopes, Jeff, offense and defense, what do you got?
I definitely was really excited about Dallin Hayden. Looking forward to that, Shawn. Same thing. And I'm going to go ahead and assume until I see it that Marvin Harrison will not be playing in this bowl game. I guess Devin Brown's the obvious because it's a new quarterback getting a real shot to play a whole game with the first team offense. But I'll go off the board and I'll say Carnell Tate as the next in line to a Marvin Harrison, the predecessor, or the next, taking the next step up. So we saw Marvin and JSN elevate when they had their chance in the Rose Bowl when Olave and Wilson sat out. Maybe we see something like that again. In the emergence of CJ Stroud, kind of getting on the scene, and using it as a springboard. So maybe Devin Brown can can have that type of game, maybe leading a late comeback, getting it some 2-point conversions, maybe some weird, going for twos and some field goals, and so Carnell Tate. I'll go with Carnell Tate. The offensive line is going to be the same. We both are leaving the host of the show the easy option at Devin Brown. So,
oh no, I actually wasn't going to go that route, but go ahead with your defense while you're there.
Defense, Shawn stating obvious with CJ Hicks, of course, because he's the biggest name on defense that we haven't gotten to see yet.
If he sees the field,
yeah, and I think you're right too. If it's going to be like a normal game, how the coaches will play it. If we get up big and stuff, they'll play more of the depth as they can. But I think if these seniors are all playing, if Eichenberg and Stover and all the defensive guys, if they're all staying in the game, the coaches are going to feel maybe more obligated to keep them in the game as long as the game is still in. It's still in play. We don't get away from it. So if it's a tight game or we're trailing, they have to come back. We might not see as many of the young kids that we all are excited to see. With all that said, I don't know. I mean, we know what we get from the front seven. I'll go Jordan Hancock. Jordan Hancock. Does he have a game that maybe changes his mind on? Yeah, this is an impact game, impact plays. Did I make myself noticeable for the NFL? Is it more of a clearer decision to leave early or to leave school? So Jordan Hancock as maybe a career decision playing time or playing performance.
All right. I'm going to go Emeka. I think this is going to be the Emeka spotlight game, similar to like
that would be JSN. Cool. I would love to see that. Yeah.
How they would focus on JSN, make him the spotlight of the offense. So I'm going to Emeka there out of the slot. Basically, I don't know who is going to be taking over Marr's position and Fleming's position. Tate will take one of them. You can't take both. So is it one of the Rogers guys?
I was thinking about Ennis as a spotlight.
He's a slot.
Game. Are we going to see him?
He's a slot guy.
He's a big slot.
Yeah. He's not an outside receiver. So that's why I didn't go that route. I don't know who's going to take over those outside Fleming and Harrison positions specifically. I know Tate's going to take one of them, but is one of the Rogers boys going to come in, who hasn't seen a lot of action? You got Kojo Antwi, Keon Grays, haven't seen any action whatsoever. Jaden Ballard on a milk carton. Haven't seen this guy. Maybe he's.
I would have pictured him for the portal. I would have thought of him as a top portal option. Yeah. I mean, I was surprised that I haven't seen his name yet. I would have thought for sure he would, try to get
he's
that
going
1
into
year.
His fourth year, so
right.
Maybe Ballard is that starter. So I'm going to Emeka though. I think this is the Emeka show, and
Good pick.
And on defense, this one was kind of difficult. I'm laying off of the secondary. I think this is going to be played up front, and without a possible JT, maybe even not a Jack. Well, Jack is playing, but maybe not a JT. I'm kind of leaning towards Caden Curry. I don't know what's going on with Kenyatta Jackson, what's in his brain right now. But Caden Curry is just he's going to go out there and just play with his hair on fire. We know that. And nobody at linebacker really got me excited. So corners, Burke will play, Hancock will play, IGB will play, safeties, doesn't matter. I mean, you got Proctor, Carter, Ransom won't play, he's injured. Sonny, of course, but I'm not sure that safety is going to be super important here. So I'm going to go with my guy, Caden Curry on defense. And see if this game's going to be played up front. So,
Joe, good pick on the Emeka.
Go ahead.
I really like the Emeka, but I have one question. I like the Emeka pick a lot, and I hope to see a lot of Curry too, because that dude's wild. He's a wild man. I definitely am excited about him. I have a question though. Do we know? I'm trying to think how. I guess. No, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry to stop you. Go ahead.
No. So what do you guys think? Any other takeaways on how you see this game playing out, Shawn?
Yeah, I think the defense will be stout. The offense will look clunky at times. I think they're going to try to apply some pressure to Brown, who's never been in this spot.
Yeah.
And we'll see. I think we'll get a good taste, and we can have some more of that conversation if Knowles does get some meaningful minutes too. I think this is a big audition for next year for those guys. And it's not even about when. It's like, how are you carrying yourself? What are you doing? Decision making, all of that stuff. And again, the things that I don't even think you can teach. Like, okay, we can work on some of this, but again, do you got it? And we often find out in games like these. So.
Yeah. All right. Jeff, how do you see this game playing out? You see it any different? How do you see the offense functioning?
I was laying it out a little bit earlier when talking about the score predictions and how I thought that's kind of how I've seen, kind of explaining how I'd see the game develop. I think there's gonna be a couple of series where Devin Brown sees some stuff that, there's a late timeout or an unused or unnecessary timeout because they're trying to change a play and he's not seeing something. So there's going to be some clunky series, I think. So I think low scoring in the first half. Missouri's probably going to come out with some crazy shit on offense. And maybe our focus isn't right there right away from the jump on defense, and we might be down in this game and having to come back. I mean, and I've still predicted us to hold Missouri to 6 points less than their season average on offense. But they score points. They score points on LSU. They score points Tennessee, Florida. I think they dog walked Florida. I think that was a huge. So they'll score points. I think so. I think our defenses maybe get scored on early. Our offense struggles a little bit. Takes a little while. We get to some running late. I think we make some plays on defense, get some turnovers, and then we get some easy, more red zone type looks with the offensive possessions. And we still got better players than they do on the perimeter. So we come ahead in the fourth quarter and hang on for a, one possession game. Yeah, 33-26.
Yeah.
You're right there. That's we win by possession. I don't know who has the ball last. Either way, us sitting on the ball with a one possession lead, or them trying to drive back and we stop them.
Yeah. That's kind of my thought process. I mean, we're all within a one score victory here. But everybody in the chat, I see your scores. I will record them and keep track of them. But hey, again, you have plenty of opportunities between now and the 29th. So you got like 12 days to get your scores in. You can comment on any of the videos. I always read all comments. If it's a Michigan fan, I definitely delete them. But and then the live shows I'll be doing the next couple Fridays. So you can pop in there, leave your scores, and we'll give away one more shirt. Lucky 13. So, I got nothing else. So with that, Jeff and Shawn, appreciate you.
All right,
you guys have a good end of the year
Merry
and
Christmas.
have a safe Christmas. And what you got travel plans, Shawn? You're going to Tiffin, right?
I'm sure I will be there.
All right. Jeff, you got travel plans?
No, man. I think I'm staying local here. It won't be
good.
Staying local. I'm doing some work trying to finish out the year pretty heavy. So
stay local, get lit. There you go.
Stay local, get lit, get paid.
There you go. That's what I've been doing. At least 2 of the 3.
That's all
Anyway,
that's all I'm trying to do. That's all I'm trying to do right now.
yeah. That's the beauty of the holiday season is you can just drink for like a month straight and nobody's going to judge you. Well,
Right.
other than your wife, but who cares? Anyway, hope you guys have a good Christmas. If you can't pop in next Friday, but if you can, you're welcome, of course, 4:30 p.m. Eastern next Friday and the Friday after. So we will be off again, folks. We just want to remind you, we'll be off Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, and we'll be back, come around the bend over the flip of the calendar. So everybody have a good, safe holiday season. If I don't talk to you before then, but appreciate you guys. Jeff and Shawn.
Sure.
Yes, man. For sure. Later.
Go Bucks.